right, so we're going to do this.
All right.
Cooking or cooked? Look at this. The animator. It's
Oh.
hard. Oh, my goodness.
J-Mo.
J-Mo, look at you. You're the bread man.
Yes.
And look at Billy. Does that mean he's the sous chef or the executive chef?
Yeah, I wonder, because there are two front men, or what is it? It feels to me like Billy's the boss.
Because we're
We're the
messy.
servers.
I don't know. I love that. We can. All right, guy. All right, cooking or cooked? I'm going to give you a team that is out of the playoff position right now. We're going to start in the East. Columbus out of the playoffs. Cooking, which means by the end of the season they'll be a playoff team, or cooked, which means you've burnt your bird, they're donezo. You got to throw it out. We'll see you next season, next Thanksgiving. Columbus Blue Jackets, Johnny, cooking or cooked?
They're cooked because they got the wrong oven. It's called the Metro Division.
Yeah,
and
toasty.
And it's very hot because everyone that division is over 500, except for the Islanders, who you think will get better at some point as well. They've overachieved. They have some structure, they have some players, but I think that it's going to be too hard down the stretch. The teams around them are just too good. Not only do they have to compete with them in the standings, they got to play against them all the time, Billy. So I'm going to say cooked, largely because of the competition.
I have to agree with you, cooked. I like Columbus. I like that they've done okay so far, but they are what they are. Mm-hmm. They're a mediocre team. They're average, and they're going to win some games, but they're better than the bottom half, some of the slugs of the league. Mm-hmm. But when you get up against the better teams, compete against them, they don't have the firepower to go toe-to-toe with the top teams, the teams that are going to get into the playoffs. And those are the games that you have to win to get in the playoffs. You got to be able, within your division, those head-to-head matchups, go so far to determining the playoffs, and going head-to-head in the Metro Division. Columbus is going to lose more than they win within that division, in my own personal opinion.
All right, well, let's go one slot lower. The Pittsburgh Penguins. Cooking or cooked?
Well, they're still cooking right now. The Penguins hanging around because they're just getting healthy. Sidney Crosby just finally getting back in the lineup. They've had all kinds of COVID issues, injury issues. Gino's not been around yet, and yet they're starting to find ways to win. Goaltending's being really good, Billy. I'm saying they're cooking. I think they still have plenty of time and the talent to make the run.
They do got plenty of talent and to make that run for the Pittsburgh Penguins. And we're looking at it, and you got Gensel and you got Crosby coming back. I'm going with cooking as well.
Oh.
We're going to stick with it. They just don't seem to miss the playoffs every single year. And Mike Sullivan, you look around coaching. I put a lot of weight in coaching. And Mike Sullivan's been there a while, and he's able to get that team to play the right way. You can watch them, even with that lineup. They were able, with Crosby now getting back and Malkin hopefully at some point, the start of the season was critical. Just kind of tread water until you got these star players back. And they were able to do that. And also, it gave chances for players to play in elevated roles while Crosby and Malkin are out, and see what you got within that team. So it's okay. The power play that was really good last year struggled. The penalty kill, which was bad last year, has been really good. So it's been a reversal of those. You have to figure, though, if Crosby and Malkin get healthy at some point, then the power play is going to get back up to where it was last year. Always a chance when you got the Pittsburghs. When you got Sidney Crosby, you got a chance.
All right, how about the Islanders? We sit here, American Thanksgiving, dead last in the Metro Division, 8th place. This is the team that's gone to the Eastern Conference Finals, the semifinals the last 2 years. Barry Trotz's team, cooking or cooked?
They're cooked.
Ooh,
they're
boy.
cooked, and I like them as a team. And what they have going for them,
a lot of people
to prove me wrong,
the Cup favorite this year.
Yeah, they haven't played many games, and of course they've played very few at home.
Yeah.
But the point is, they got to jump over 3 or 4 teams in their own division to make the playoffs. We just talked about the Metro for Columbus. I can't act like the Metro teams don't exist for the Islanders. And so, yeah, there's some things that are missing on that team, and I think the number one is Nick Leddy. And that has changed their entire defensive core. So they're cooked. They haven't found a way to replace him. They had to break up Pulock and Pelech. Yeah. Chara can't play second-line minutes. There's some issues going on in the back end, which is where they were rock solid in years past. For that reason, cooked.
I'm going to give them a chance. They're opening up the new barn. They finished under 500 on the road last year. So they come out of this 13-game road trip, 1 game under 500.
Fair.
And they're really good at Nassau Coliseum and explode. They get on home ice, and all of a sudden they got COVID problems. And you can't open up the building because you got players on the injured list. You got a bunch of rookies in the lineup. And that's a tough start. Once they get everyone healthy, then they got a bunch of home games. They went to the Game 7 against the Stanley Cup champions.
Chicago Blackhawks. High expectations, high hopes for a lot of people out there, especially based on the moves that they made this summer. Have not worked out. Coaching change, all kinds of changes in Chicago. Cooked or cooking right now?
Cooked. The fire alarm's going off. The oven is smoking. They're cooked. And I hate to say it because Derek King was my line mate for years. I love Kinger.
He's 4-1.
And he can't lose, but I think some of that is just a regression of good goaltending. They're cooked. It's too far down, and they're still not a great defensive team. You can't ask Marc-Andre Fleury to make 40 saves in a shutout to get wins. Cooked.
I agree with you. They're cooked. They got some firepower, and the one player coming back that hasn't just looked right this year is Jonathan Toews.
No.
He just doesn't seem to be the Jonathan Toews that we knew and expected from years past, and that leadership role. And many maybe thought Chicago might have a chance to get into the playoffs at the start of the year. One reason, because Jonathan Toews, their captain, was back and was going to be inserted, and he just has had a hard time finding the back of the net and the face-off circle, where it's normally a strength. He's not been good in the face-off circle, well-rounded defensively, so not sure if he's quite right, fully healthy and playing the right way, but it's a team, DeBrincat, the bottom guys, they're just bottom six forwards and bottom pairing D. There is not enough in that cupboard. It's bare.
All right, how about the San Jose Sharks? Maybe not a whole lot of expectations coming in. Maybe shocked a lot of people with a decent start here to this season. Cooked or cooked? Cooking or cooked for the Sharks?
There's always one dish that surprises you.
Yeah.
And it's the Sharks.
Oh, wow.
They are cooking.
Oh, wow.
The San Jose Sharks are cooking, and you're right.
The green bean casserole of the crew,
and I think, you know what, they have options, either the bottom end of the Pacific or maybe even the wild card. And I think they have a good vibe there going right now. If they can stay healthy, and James Reimer has put up pretty good numbers throughout his career. Carlson's been better. Brent Burns has been better. Hurdle's playing for a new deal. I think they have some positive things going there. So there's always a surprise. There's always a team we don't expect to make it that completely jumps out of nowhere and makes it.
San Jose for you.
Could be
I like that. Billy,
Cooked. I'm going to go cooked. The Pillsbury rolls, when you put them in the oven, well, that's what they got. They got 10 rookies that have played on a regular basis. They put them in the oven, and they're starting to rise.
Yes, they are.
But it's not going to quite get there by playoff time. It's going to take a while for these rookies to develop.
Those things only take 10 minutes,
else.
10 games. They're ready to go.
He's burnt his buns, though.
It's not,
overcooked them.
It's not good. They're just starting. They're just in. Yeah, so they're actually just beginning to be the start of cooking, but at this moment they're cooked.
All right, we'll see who the surprises are. Like we said, the trend, the last 2 years prior to
5 new teams are coming in.
Exactly.
So.